which company do you guys want to start with for 2021? We got Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo.
We can blaze through Microsoft in 10 minutes, right?
maybe.
We can Halo Infinite.
We can start with Microsoft. All right, we can start with them. That's fun. So, Microsoft, we don't really know what they have this year, right? Other than Halo Infinite and the Medium. I mean, are those the two games that they really have right now?
Wait a minute, they've got a big acquisition with Bethesda that's just about to get inked, man. I mean,
yeah, that's the funny thing. All right, so we can go to Bethesda on that because it looks. I mean, they're going to ink that deal in what, June is what they're saying by the latest.
Yeah,
they're not saying much right now. They're being very quiet in every interview about it. They're like, it's very important to us. We're not going to talk about exclusivity, nothing like that. But we'll have more information later. Yeah, I think you're right, MZ. They're waiting to basically just sign the paperwork, and then they're like, all right, all these games are exclusive now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be that.
Did y'all see there's been some leaks that Starfield may be pretty far into development and we may actually get Starfield released this year? What do you think if that ends up being Xbox Series X exclusive?
That would be interesting because that means they would have had to have gone in and just put a halt on the PS5.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's a game that I feel like if it was done or at least close to being ready for the PS5, they'd be like,
why not, right? Free money. We already made it.
Unless it was to the point where it was worth it to them to say, nope, you got to go through xCloud, you got to go through an Xbox or get Windows to play it. And maybe to them, it's worth it just to shelve that version. Or maybe it's a timed exclusive. Maybe they keep it on the Xbox and PC and all of that for a year, and then it goes to the PS5 a year later. I don't. It would be weird it'd be a pretty big waste to just leave that game on the cutting room floor for a different console. I would like to see Starfield actually release that, Max. I think that'd be awesome.
I'm excited. Yeah, there's been like 9 leaked screenshots so far. They look good.
Nate, Starfield this year, what do you think?
Starfield this year?
We need that holiday game.
Maybe. This is Bethesda. We've seen almost next to nothing about this game. We know basically nothing about this game. If it releases this year, let's say it's a holiday game, it releases in November. If Microsoft and Bethesda don't ink the deal until June, then that game's coming to the PlayStation 5 maybe 6 months after the Xbox and PC version launches. Because Microsoft has no say in any Bethesda project at this moment until the deal is done. Right. So that game is an active development until the ink is dry.
So let's say they have, Halo Infinite, I think that could drop in September. I think that's possible. If they do have Starfield in November. You wouldn't put both of them in November, would you?
No.
I don't think so. But I would probably flip them around if that was going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Halo Infinite. Wow, you think it's going to come that close to 2022 even?
Yeah. I think so. And not because, obviously with its well-documented, history, but there's some talk that, it may drop with the 20th anniversary and all this sort of stuff in November. So
I'm okay with that.
It makes sense, that they drop it in November.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, if it drops along with the anniversary and they can do more merchandising and
it's about a holiday setup there, just from a marketing perspective of 20th anniversary. Let's hype up Halo as the big holiday game for the Xbox. Get all those Mountain Dew bottles out there again that were out this year.
They're going to do a special edition Xbox Series X.
Maybe
I would say so. I would say so. Hasn't every Halo had a special editions up to now?
Halo 4, right? Halo 4 had the slim that was like the silver. Yeah, you're right.
I had the VCO. I have that model.
It did.
And Reach had a special, and 3 had a special. Even the OG Xbox had a Halo special edition, Halo 2 special edition. So yeah, I think they have to, right? It's kind of a tradition that they. Is that
the prediction right here, right now, MVG special edition Xbox Series X?
Ooh,
not Series S, Series X.
Well, see, that's tough now because they have 2 SKUs, right? So which one do you go with? I would say probably an X. Yeah, it's got to be the X, right?
They want to sell that X as the awesome version of Halo Infinite, so that's the version you want to sell. S, you can make it look like a grunt or something.
They may just have the S with like a Halo sticker on it or something, and say, here you go.
Or put any elites on it.
Yeah, make it look like the Halo ring.
I like the idea of that. That would be cool though. The Series X special edition. Halo Infinite system with like it probably comes with like a couple months of Game Pass or something, and that's it.
I guess technically
cool.
ODST didn't have a special edition, but every other Halo did.
Yeah, but it wasn't. That wasn't a numbered one though. For talking about numbered ones, really,
Right.
like if you go just 1 through, well, technically 2 through 5. Then we had original Halo. We had a Halo Xbox, didn't we?
Yeah.
A see-through.
Yep.
The see-through green, and they can make a hell of a bundle with it. If you make a custom Halo-looking Xbox Series X and S, give it Game Pass, throw in Master Chief Collection.
Yep.
Boom.
So
there's your literal Halo box.
That'd be pretty big for them to have that. And there is what's the game they have coming from Bandai Namco as well?
Scarlet Nexus?
Yep,
Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet
Yeah.
Nexus, yeah.
Yep, maybe that's something they have over the summer because they have the marketing deal on that. They're trying to push that heavily as an Xbox game, really, the way they're pushing it around.
Good
And I guess they have the medium coming up, but unfortunately, from what I can tell, a lot of their other games, first-party games, unless they somehow have, I mean, maybe they have. You think Hellblade 2 could make this year?
No.
So that's the thing. That was the first game we saw really from the Series X.
Hellblade 2 has no chance this year. We'll get a Forza, whether it's Horizon or if it's Motorsport is just the question. We'll get one of those this year.
I mean, you think it'd be more Forza Motorsport because they've already shown us that. They talked about how it's not going to be called Motorsport 8. It's just going to be apparently called Forza Motorsport. So it's just basically turned into a live service, I assume.
Maybe. I mean, they can really go any direction they want with that at this point, because when you think of the car or the racing games on each platform, Forza probably is more name recognition than Gran Turismo at this point, as shocking as that may be. But Microsoft can really do anything they want with Forza Motorsport because Horizon gives them that arcadey, more fun, lighthearted type of experience, whereas Sony has Gran Turismo. We're going to see Gran Turismo this year for PlayStation 5.
Yes.
And that's probably going to be more of like game as a service because we've seen it with Gran Turismo Sport. So if Microsoft really wants to differentiate themselves, you don't make Motorsport a games as a service. You still just deliver that great simulation.
Okay. And then we also they have Stalker 2 coming out this year.
Yeah, and Flight Simulator in the summer.
Flight Simulator.
Yes.
Yep. I'm actually surprised that Stalker 2 would be coming out this year. I don't know. For some reason, I think of Stalker 2, and I'm like, that's not coming out for a while. But yeah, apparently it's coming out this year, and it's going to be Game Pass day one.
That's because that company
And we got
always has
Crossfire.
weird
Yep,
production
and
schedules.
I predict that they're going to add more to their backward compatibility library.
Yes, I think so too.
I think they're going to push that pretty hard this year.
More original.
What are we going to get? What are we going to get? You're going to get some Project Gotham?
Well, I mean that's a good question. I mean, obviously there's licensing issues they have to figure out, but hopefully we can get some cool stuff. Hopefully, dude, Project Gotham would be a legit announcement if we got
Project Gotham. It was such a good game.
It was. I have it. Yeah.
It was great. Project Gotham 1, 2, 3, the kudos system. It was such an original idea at the time, and then Bizarre got bought by Activision, and Activision shut them down after making that 007 game.
So 2022 is going to be Microsoft's, like we would assume their actual like big year where things start to really catch up and like come out.
Yeah.
Starting. Okay. Yeah. So they're going to try to bridge 2021 as best they can.
Yeah, this year they're going to get the ball rolling probably by summer once we see Flight Simulator and everything start to kind of roll out. And then once they get to 2022, Microsoft's going to be full speed running. Okay.
So do you think they make another big splash in terms of maybe not necessarily games, but another acquisition like they did with Bethesda, but in 2021? Okay. Yep. You do think though something that's at least like noticeable, not, I mean, Bethesda level was down.
Yeah, not Bethesda tier, but they will make another acquisition. We've seen the rumors that Ubisoft Plus or whatever their service is called is going to be added to Game Pass, similar to EA Access. That will probably happen.
Do you think they could make another multi-billion-dollar studio acquisition?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. They have unlimited cash, so if it's a right move, I think they can definitely throw more money around.
I wonder who they would pick up. I like the rumors of Sega.
I don't like the rumors of Sega.
They're not gonna buy Sega.
Hey, help them out. Help them localize some stuff. Come on. Maybe they can get some games on more than one system that way.
If they bought Sega, they'd have control over so many great IP. They'd own Atlas.
You mean they'd actually start using them?
No.
No, Sega,
Dude,
Microsoft still hands off, and Sega would still be like, we're not
We would
porting
get
Skies of Arcadia.
but we would get our AAA Knights game.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
See, look at that.
imagine
Would we,
if they
though?
say, "Hey,
Would we?
all coming together for Sean.
we launched the original Xbox with Jet Set Radio Future. So now for Xbox Series X, we're finally doing Jet Set Radio Future 2. All right, I'd be happy about that.
I'd be happy if they took over Sega and they just said, let's get a Dreamcast collection.
What if they just started adding Dreamcast games to Game Pass?
I'd be fine. That would be a good deal in and of itself without owning Sega. Just go to Sega and say, here's $100 million. We want all your Dreamcast games on Game Pass. We've got Yakuza. Now give us those games. And if we have Shenmue 1 and 2 Dreamcast versions, not the weird broken HD game,
Damn, brother.
Skies of Arcadia, House of the Dead. There's a lot of great games.
I
They
can
could put
only
on
get
Gun
so
Val-
erect.
Gun Valerie. There's a lot of great games.
I know we're fanboying and just throwing these ridiculous games around, but one thing to keep in mind is this is the 20th anniversary of Xbox, so they may dip and start bringing some of these things back. So who knows? I think this is going to be a big year for Microsoft. I mean, obviously they don't have the releases that they were hoping for this year. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's coming next year, but I think this is going to be a big year for them. I mean, one of their biggest years they've had for a long time, quite honestly.
Could be.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of other studios other than Sega is like the one that would again shock people if that got announced, because Bethesda was obviously or ZeniMax was obviously shocking. There was that really funny article that was popped up. I don't know why people thought it was real, where it said that Microsoft bought Sony. That was great. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I
People
saw
actually
that.
believed it. I was like, really? Really?
I think they latched onto a Twitter thread of Grub, myself, and Randall Thor. We were like, Microsoft's bought Nintendo, they bought Sony, they bought Sega. And then also I see this article like 2 days later. I'm like, do these idiots believe this? Like, I hope, Microsoft bought Sony and the PlayStation 5 division, because that just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would expect Microsoft to at least buy another studio, another acquisition, I will say, this year coming up.